Hello and greetings to all. Through this video, I seek to add on to the video, Brownness Has No Nationality. This one is titled, Brownness Has No National Identity. Now, if you will, for a few seconds, revisit the situation with the migrant caravan, the Central American asylum seekers who came into the U.S., and many of whom are still being detained in ICE facilities. Now, on the one part, we have non-Hispanic groups, mainly perhaps Caucasian groups, who resent the fact that these people have invaded the U.S. And then on another hand, we have other immigrant groups, naturalized immigrant groups, who resent the fact that these people are barging into a country demanding rights that have taken them so long to obtain. Now, anytime you hurl attacks against asylum seekers, migrant caravans, and other immigrant groups, you're pretty much hurling attacks on the most of us. Racism and discrimination will not stop to ask if you have papers. It will not stop to ask how long you've been in the U.S. If you look, act, and speak a certain way, you're automatically tied into, sub-Rio Grande immigrant groups of brown people. Again, this is a very touchy subject, particularly for me since I am from El Paso, but the assassin in the Walmart shootings at the Cielo Vista Walmart did not stop and ask for nationality. He did not stop. Anybody who looked Hispanic was automatically a target for him. Therefore, we who seek to re-indigenize and decolonize ought to look past the artificiality and the stigma of national identity to embrace and look forward to a continent that is put back together after it's been partitioned and divided. In the previous video, I did mention the Uto-Aztecan group, which includes Nahuatl, the language of the Aztecs, the Mexica, and other Aztec groups. Now, Uto, the first part of the name, refers to the fact that it includes the Ute language from the native people in Utah. There is also included in this group, the Shoshone group, the northernmost territory that it's spoken in is Idaho, and also throughout the Southwest, like Nevada. So as you can see, the Uto-Aztecan group family of languages includes languages that have been spoken by U.S. natives since before the arrival of the invaders from Europe. Now, going south, we also have the Tohono O'odham, which I've mentioned is the Native American nation that includes the territory of the United States and Mexico. It is actually grouped together along with Tepehuan, which is a language spoken in Durango. Then we also have Tarahumara, Rarámuri, which is a correct name, and of course the Aztecan languages, which includes Nahuatl and its many variants. Now, a lot of people are very adamant about establishing the fact that Nahuatl is not a dialect, but a language in its own right. Calling it a dialect or dialecto is the mainstream way of dehumanizing Native peoples by implying that Native Americans do not possess the intellectual capacity to have an actual language of their own, but instead they just speak dialects. But Nahuatl is very much so a language in its own right, but it does have variants or many dialects within it. Now, very interesting, in El Salvador, there is a language variant of Nahuatl that is spoken, which is called Pipil. Pipil may be a word that derives from Pipiltin, which is the noble class of Nahuatl groups. Now, Nicaragua, very interesting, comes from the Nahuatl term Nican Anahuac, which means Anahuac stops here. This is the limits of Anahuac. Guatemala is Cuauhtemalan, which is also Nahuatl, place of trees. In Honduras and Guatemala, the Nahuatl language is now extinct, but it has been spoken before. There are various theories as to how Nahuatl speakers came down, even some suggesting that the exiles from Tolan, from the ancient revered city of Tula, came to El Salvador. That's the topic of another video. The original name of El Salvador is Cuscatlan, from Coscat, something precious. So as you can see, linguistically and even culturally, there are a lot of indicants of us being the same people, simply being divided by artificial borders. Just today, one of my friends on social media remarked on a post saying that a lot of Mexicans might not view activism toward the Central American asylum seekers held in detainment camps as something that they ought to lend support to. And my response was that a lot of Mexicans, particularly the smug, lighter skinned Latino proponents, do not see a unity with Central American people. Since we're too busy trying to be Hispanic, Latino, we come to the U.S. and we're trying to be whiter. We're trying to, just bring about a wider posterity, a wider reality for ourselves and our generations to come. So I have none to do with those asylum seekers and migrant caravan. That's what they get for coming into a country illegally. We're pretty much siding with the non-brown groups and their hatred and xenophobia against these groups. I will definitely continue this series, so please stay tuned. Watch, like, comment, and share, and I hope to speak to you all soon.